Another lazy review, another one from the pool. A couple days ago, I went and saw Hotel Artemis, and this thing was a ton of world building, but the movie overall was just kind of average. But let's get into it. The cast in this movie is freaking packed. You got Jeff Goldblum, Zachary Quinto, Jodie Foster, Charlie Day, Dave Bautista, Sophia Boutella. It's just loaded. Sterling K. Brown. There's tons of cast members, and what you have here is kind of a John Wick style premise. It's a little futuristic. It's near future. There's these riots going on about water supply, and there's these different areas where you can go, where criminals can go, and it's kind of a hospital. They can get taken care of, no questions asked. But there's all these rules that are in place to keep people from getting hurt. This one is run by Jodie Foster, and her kind of fixer man is Dave Bautista. Right from the get-go, you get some backstory on Jodie Foster's character. I really like Dave Bautista in this movie. All the characters were really interesting and quirky and had their own little thing going on. And no one really let me down character-wise. There was a lot of cool moments featuring each of them. I will say, though, that besides Jodie Foster's character, you don't really get a backstory on hardly anybody. But for the most part, the movie was a very interesting setup for something, and there was no overall story. It was just, okay, there's a bunch of people who are hanging out in a hotel, and there's different people trying to do different things, but there was just it felt like they really didn't focus much on the story. They just had this really cool premise, and it definitely draws comparisons to John Wick, because a lot of things they're doing here feel like they ripped them straight from John Wick, which hopefully is not the case. And like I said, the problem with that is you spend the entire movie setting up this crazy cool world, and then there was never any payoff. The story never paid off. There was no really crazy good action scenes, and there was no leading man that could really keep the thing focused. It felt like we were really on all these different characters besides Jodie Foster, and it just wasn't enough for her character. So the movie overall was kind of average. It's great setup. There's no cool action, not a really good story here. And stylistically, it was pretty cool, I guess. But overall, I just came out of it going, well, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing another movie set in this world, maybe with a better story. But I don't know if this movie's going to make enough money for that. So overall, I was just kind of meh as a general thing. There was a couple times, I know people are probably going to say, well, there was some cool action scenes. There's a couple times where you thought you were going to get some really cool John Wick style action scenes, but they just kind of pootered out. And then it kind of just left certain characters just hanging. You never know really what happens to them or what they do. So, overall, I just felt like the film was very meh. And for a rating, I think I'm going to give Hotel Artemis a 2.5 out of 5. We'll see what happens. If we get a sequel, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it. But as far as watching this movie again, I don't really plan on it. Until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.